Yo, what's going on YouTube? I am back with a video. I know, miracles. Today's video is actually going to be a bit of a guide on how to deal with, Colossus or Disruptor drops. I know this is probably nothing that's super common for some people, but it's something that shows up every once in a while, and it's something that I've got questions about, or I've gotten questions about. So I'm actually going to go ahead and do a quick little guide on that. This is a match that I played on the NA ladder against Nina, who does like to do her Colossus drops or her Disruptor drops. And I'll basically go about explaining to you how to defend it, and then also ways you can punish it as a Terran player. So in this case, in this game, I played a double gas opener. And with all openers, with your first Reaper, you're looking for a tech, right? Always going to be the first thing you're looking for. My Reaper here is a bit low on HP, so I'm waiting for it to regen so I can go ahead and dive in for a scout. I think I tried to bounce it over. Yeah, and I do. So on this map, fun fact, this is one of the easiest maps to bump your Reaper over the wall. If you want to know the trick and you want to try it yourselves, it's really not that hard. So here, if you notice, there's a little spot right here where obviously the Reaper doesn't fit. But it's so small, the gap is so small that if you throw a grenade, it'll push it over, right? As opposed to this kind of gap here. There's no real gap here or here. But here there is. So what you can do is, notice where I put the grenade. I put the grenade behind my Reaper, and then I keep clicking the Reaper forward here. So it keeps running into the cyber. And when the grenade finishes, it pops, my Reaper will fly over this little tiny gap and get to the other side. And this is the only map where it's like really easy to do it. It's super obvious. The other maps is still like, I would say it's a bit harder to do for sure. But on this particular map, I always nail it all the time. And then I come in here, and of course I'm a little greedy. You don't have to kill probes right away. Honestly, it's probably better for you to check the tech, and then if you can, kill probes afterwards. So that would be my suggestion to everybody, is to do that. So, and luckily I'm able to see that. So I come in here and I click, and I see two things, right? There was no tech here. There is tech here. And the first thing is a robo, okay? This is clue number one that you're getting a Disruptor or Colossus drop. Is it definitive? By no means. It's not by any means, but it is like all things in StarCraft. There's like little hints to a puzzle you're piecing together, and then eventually you'll get to the end. So this is what this is here, right? A second gateway, a robo, no Twilight Council that I've seen. And I also know that my opponent built two stalkers, a stalker that went across the map and a stalker at home. Two stalkers is a pretty big gas investment. And also to me, that, and actually a third stalker even that I didn't even see. So for me, this feels like somebody who's committing on stalkers and a robo. Very unlikely that it's anything else. Now, could this be like 2-base Colossus into blink and no drop? Definitely. But we're going to talk about how you can take these precautions with your unit positioning, where if something does happen, you're actually like prepared for it without necessarily it being something that you were actively looking for, actively worried about. So for example, in this case, I go for my Widow Mine drop off my 2 gas. I'm going to build 2 tanks, and my first tank is going to go next to my command center, right? This one here is obviously very normal, very normal. I'm not worried about a Twilight or a really fast blink because my opponent went robo first. So even if they did follow up the blink and Twilight Council, it's not going to have blink for another minute at least, which is technically late, right? As a Protoss player, your blink would be finishing up around this time if you go for a Twilight Council first. But in this case, that's not happening. So it's okay to keep your tank a little bit close to the front and not worry about it getting blinked on. The other thing I'm going to do is, which should be soon, is leave a tank right here around this area. I'm gonna go ahead and send my mine drop. My opponent is expecting the mine drop, which is why she built stalkers to be able to defend that kind of stuff. And I'm gonna park it there. I hear low ground wall off, always super nice. There's never a reason why you shouldn't low ground wall off, so please guys, low ground wall off. It's gonna save you from DTs, charge all-ins, 4-gate blink. There's absolutely no reason not to, especially if you're building tanks, because tanks can defend on the other side of that. Another quick small little trick that actually people don't really know about is, notice where I build my depots. You build these depots back here. Usually it used to be because like you could block the dropping of units like in a medevac or a war prism a warp prism can't siege back behind your mineral line, and then warp in zealots, which is depots behind it. But the other thing is, if you plug these little gaps with your supply depots or your engineering base, if your opponent disruptor drops, the Novas can actually go through any of these gaps. They have to go all the way around, which could save you SCVs. So think about that. I scatter these Marines here just for vision. I scatter these here too. And like I said, tank right here. I'll keep another tank here. And then, you keep with the Cyclone, you keep with the Viking before you start the reactor if you want to go the extra steps. Me personally, though, I didn't want to cut anything out. And you can see this tank is putting in a lot of work. I do lose a couple of single Marines, but it keeps the pressure off my workers, which is very important, right? Now, behind this, you don't have to do this, but it's very, very good to do if you can manage it. And something that a lot of Korean Terrans do is when somebody is playing aggressive against you, whether it's Stalkers, whether it's Colossus drop, whatever it is, sending that Raven across the map and actually using it for auto turret harassment instead of it just like flying around your base and getting sniped by a random blink Stalker roll in, that could save your life. So if you notice your opponent's kind of just sitting outside of your base with Stalkers, or they're playing an aggressive opener, it's actually okay to just send that Raven across the map and harass that mineral lane with auto turrets. There's plenty of examples in that. You watch any GSL game with Maru, he definitely does it. Bian as well. Bian does that a lot. Position my next tank here, and eventually I'll build a missile turret in the corner here and here. And then after that, I pretty much just gear up for a tank push and I keep harassing. And as you can see, I've done way more damage than my opponent because I practically just shut down the Colossus drop without taking any damage. We looked for it. We scouted what could have been a Colossus drop, and then all we did, or a Disruptor drop, and all we did was prepare for it in the off chance that it was, without going out of your way to doing like building a Cyclone, building a Viking, building turrets, and like building engineering bay. You don't gotta do any of that. Just do what I did here. You're completely fine. And that's it for this quick video. If you guys have any questions, please let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.